Hello, and welcome back. Alright, so last time we finally were able to access the ocean. See, I'm not forgetting that this time. Okay. I don't want to forget turning on my my screen again. That would be bad. But we finally got access to the ocean, so we can go back to places that we've been before, but it's clear that we're still meant to go back there for story eventually, so I'm not going to explore too heavily. We also got the blessing of gnomes, so that hopefully we can get up to the top of the ridge here.
Visions of mana!
But before that, I do want to grab all of the things that I can grab on the way over.
You're mine! Spirits, come forth! Easy!
Well, there we go.
Let me see. A rare item!
Consecutive casting fire.
We're in our way. Silver boomerang! Ready whenever! Hang in there! Take this!
Do not drop your defenses until the very end.
You're mine! Lend me your power!
Oh, that was easy.
This is kind of exciting. Is this?
Consecutive casting earth.
Do you think it'll go any better with the seed this time?
I sure hope
With
so.
Gnome's blessing, I think the soil will have enough power. It'll work, now that we have him on our side.
I am prepared to climb if this fails.
You do reap what you sow, as they say. You heard the Queen. Be prepared for any outcome.
Sure hope it doesn't come to that.
Please work. We gotta...
You're back. I can feel a change in the energy of the soil. We should attempt the watering ceremony one more time.
Spirits of Earth, we beseech you, bring life forth from this barren soil. Guide the alms over the cliffs and to Elusia beyond.
Aha, there we go. That's what's supposed to happen. Holy cow! That grows fast.
Oh my! Did you see? Get a load of that!
Hey!
Val?
Hina. I'll take care of your core stone. I swear.
Not many people venture this far.
There may not be many methods of restocking our packs. Confirm your stores before we climb.
But I want to go up now.
Me too. But Palomina's right. Let's check our provisions first.
Alms, Soulguard. Milos Woods lies just beyond the cliffs. It is a vast and treacherous jungle. Within the forest, you will find Verdius Burrow, hidden home of the Sproutlings. It is one of them who will become the Alm of Wood. Once the Alm joins your party, you will be that much closer to the Mana Tree. You are well on your way to ensuring the survival of our world. Safe travels on the road to Elusia.
But here's the thing. Yes. Here's the thing. We're planning on coming back.
This feels wonderful.
A tiring trek it has been, but we have come far.
It's all thanks to the spirits. Ever since Guju, I've been thinking about how we take their powers for granted in our everyday lives.
True. But with the Alm's sacrifice, we can ensure that mana flows to the spirits of earth, fire, wind, water, the moon, and all the rest.
Wow. Get a look at those trees.
Verdius should be in view once we reach beyond this road. The Alm may have already been appointed.
We'll have to see if we come across Orin or the Alm of Wood first, I suppose.
Yep. We're up here for Orin, mostly.
Brace yourselves, everybody.
Oh, I suppose if the Sword of Mana would be anywhere, here would not be a bad place to look.
What kind of trees are these? I've never seen anything like them.
The plant life on top of the cliffs doesn't seem to suffer from the same issues as the ones below.
I
Yeah.
suppose all of Elusia Isle is isolated from the lands we know. In fact, I wonder how the Mana Tree first came to flourish here.
We're hot on Orin's trail now.
Leave it to us. We won't let Orin keep Hina's core stone.
I wonder if he just climbed while we were going and getting the Blessing of Now.
Are the plants this weird because we're near the Mana Tree?
That, or it's because there aren't any people to keep the woods in check.
Don't get lost, okay? I don't know if I'd be able to find anyone in here.
Point.
Yes!
What?
What happened to that big flower?
Might it feed on the mana power of monsters, perhaps?
A balanced ecosystem between monster and plant. These woods are very interesting. How did you get there?
Found you, little cactus. I couldn't find a good hiding spot. You found me. Where to next? And that reminds me... Oh, I need to read.
What is with these gigantic flowers everywhere?
Uh-oh. This one's too big to get around.
There may be a connection to the other curiously large blossoms in the vicinity.
Look what the cat's
Easy!
You're mine!
The large flowers along our way are all gone, it seems.
That means we can keep moving forward. Let's get going.
Extra HP. Recovers 10 HP when collecting mana.
Yes!
Nice.
Grizzly!
This looks like a boss arena. There's no boss to be found.
This is kinda exciting. A rare item!
Chalice of Tomorrow! Hey! 2 extra ability slots for Morley.
Is this a settlement of some kind?
There don't appear to be any settlers.
Excuse me! Is anyone here? Nope, nothing.
It doesn't look as bad off as Guju. We would know if disaster had struck another town.
Huh?
Did you hear that?
Sounds like music. Does Orin play the guitar?
Calm down. It's probably just one of the citizens of Verdius.
I believe that riveting refrain is coming from over there. Shall we investigate?
Verdius Moro.
There's gotta be someone around playing that song, right?
It's coming from here.
We are all here in order to persevere. A part of this interwoven life that keeps the world from strife. Not moving on, no matter what, oh yeah. So long as all of us are alive, we can grow and sing and thrive. Looks like jam number 1460 is another keeper. Not bad, not bad.
Okay.
Gosh, the fairy is taking her sweet time this year.
Those were some weird lyrics.
Yes, that's the nature of translated
Well,
songs.
I didn't really ask for your input. Get out of town! You wouldn't happen to be the convoy of alms now, would you?
Correct.
I'm Jule, custodian of the burrow. A sproutling, obviously. You came all this way, but I'm sorry to say there's no alm of wood just yet.
I guess that means we're stuck here for now.
Wait a second. 1, 2, 3. Is it just me, or are we missing people?
Yeah, we're
Due
missing
to
a
some
few.
complications on our journey, the Alms of Light and Darkness will join us later. I am Palomina, Alm of Water.
Oh, I'm the Soul Guard, Val.
Morley, Alm of the Moon.
They call me Karina, Alm of Wind, and this pretty lady is Ramco.
Golly, a sacred beast cub. Still growing, I see. Were you raised outside of the Lucia?
Hang on. Do you know Ramco?
Nope, we only just got acquainted, but I know plenty about these sacred beasts. That's everyone. Oh, what about the Alm of Fire? Did something happen to the Alm from Tiania?
We're looking for her core stone.
She, Hina. She lost her core stone. We're looking for the person who stole it from us, and we're actually in a hurry.
Not sure what you mean by core stone, but losing things is never fun.
Sounds like most people haven't heard of core stones.
The only news I can give you is no news. Sorry. There's nobody here but us Sproutlings, and I haven't seen any thieves come through the burrow in, well, ever probably. Plus, there's nothing beyond Verdius but the mana tree, so... Oh yeah, and that boulder at the entrance with the legendary sword stuck in it, but that's it.
Sounds like we need to go grab the sword.
Oops, look at the time. I have to go water my friends. Bye.
Wait!
What sword was he talking about?
That was the sword of mana.
Am I the only one in the dark
obviously.
here?
The goddess of mana was said to have given a legendary sword to her hero champion. But I could have never fathomed that the fairy tale was fact.
Orin and Hina talked about it once. I didn't think it was real either.
Perhaps the kernel of truth behind the myth originated here in Elusia. It is the home of the mana tree.
Our search for Orin might be a bust, but we still need an alm of wood. We should ask that kid from earlier what's up.
True. Let's find him.
He has to water his... what? Better look for him, I guess.
No alm's been named yet. Same story, different city. You think the other pilgrimages had this problem? Probably.
Yes! Look! A cactus!
Found you, little cactus. That was a close one. You found me. Where to next?
Huh.
Looks like you dropped something. Oh, looks like everyone uses that kind of
I'm
pitcher.
sort of in the middle of my daily duties. Mind getting out of my way?
Do all custodians water the plants here?
Of course. Who else? I have to take care of my friends.
Friends?
Sure. This tree here is a good friend of mine.
Wait, what? This tree is a sproutling?
Oh, I guess you wouldn't know. When the sproutling goes to sleep for a long time, we tend to turn into trees. Every 4 years, just in time for the pilgrimage, one of my hibernating friends grows the most beautiful flowers. The alluring fragrance beckons the fairy to the burrow, and that lucky sproutling gets to be the alm. Only the most vibrant of sproutlings can blossom, making them the perfect candidates for the alm of wood. Our patron elemental wants lush foliage on all of her envoys.
But when are the buds meant to bloom?
Usually the trees are already in bloom by the time the convoy of alms arrives. But not this year. There's probably no hope for the burrow after all. I suppose we all gotta go sometime.
Whoa, hold on. No need to jump straight to utter destruction.
Yeah!
Nope. I think this is it for us. No flowers, no fairy, no future. Anyway,
Really?
I'm sure you've all got stuff to do. Some bandit you're tailing or whatever.
He's really gonna give up on his homeland? Just like that?
Jule seems really knowledgeable about the pilgrimage. There's a lot more I want to ask him.
I have read literature on the hibernation habits of sproutlings, but there is merit in meeting one in person. I hate it when people give up without a fight. Julie should watch out. Karina's in a mood.
Was there something else you needed, or were you that curious about my work?
There's a lot we don't know about all this. I was hoping for answers.
A chat would kill time better than my usual rounds. As you wish. All sproutlings remain dormant for long periods with one exception. We alternate who looks after the rest of us while we sleep. As the custodian, I water my sleeping friends each and every day. I woke up 4 years ago, just as the last pilgrimage was coming through the burrow.
So for 4 years, you've been watering these guys waiting for them to bloom? All by yourself?
Of course. Though, I guess it's not gonna matter much anymore if there's no alm. Might as well hang up my watering can.
You can't be out of options already. Have you talked with your patron elemental? Maybe she can help.
What a silly thing to say. Alms are appointed, not requested. There's nothing I can do about this.
But how do you know if you don't try? I went directly to Sylphid and asked to be made the alm.
You did?
You don't want this place to be destroyed, right? Then do something. Anything. Go ask the elemental of wood to hurry it up.
You've got to be joking. She's joking, right?
Karina's telling the truth. She went out and found the elemental of wind in order to request her position as the alm.
But that's going against the hand of fate. Perhaps mortals like yourself try to defy destiny, but that's not how we do things up here. Sproutlings take what life gives us, and we're grateful for it. I don't know how many thousands of years ago it was, but we watched your world teeter on the edge of destruction. All the while we waited, tending the seeds as we've always done. Whatever hand fate deals us is our burden to bear. How egotistical to assume you know better than the goddess herself.
So I'm curious why there's only
Egotistical.
4
That's
of
rich
these
coming
that
from a stubborn weed like him.
He's not wrong to stick to his principles. He just needs some perspective. Is following the will of the world really worth accepting the destruction of all you hold dear? Not that the workings of the Hand of Fate aren't important, but Karina's got a good point too. I don't want Jule to give up hope.
Yes.
If only Fairy could facilitate a conversation with our headstrong host. However, she hardly ever visits the city except to appoint an alm. The more I think about it, the more it makes me mad. Me? Egotistical? I remember the days I spent waiting near a tavern all by myself. At least Jule seems okay with the solitude. I'm wondering what happens when this place runs out of sproutlings, because it seems like there's not very many of them.
You're a pushy bunch, you know that? What is it this time?
You're the one who ran off. We weren't done with our conversation.
Actually, I didn't have anything else to say to you folks. I've said my piece. No need to get worked up about it. I'll tell you what. If an alm of wood is chosen, you'll be the first to know. So go ahead and look around for that corkstone or what have you.
It's corestone, not corkstone. And that's our friend Soul you're talking about, bub. Hina, the Alm of Fire, had her corestone stolen by Orin. If we don't get that piece of her back, then Tiania is in danger. Ferdia still has a chance, so use it! How can you stand around and throw your hands up like none of this is in your control? Don't you care what happens to the burrow? Think of your dormant friends. Don't you want to save them? Isn't that worth asking to become the Alm of Wood yourself?
Look, pal, I'm not going to take much more of your sass. You think I'm not worried about the fate of my home? There should be blooms by now. It's not supposed to be like this. Without flowers, the fairy won't come. Without the fairy, us sproutlings lose our purpose. No lives to preserve, it'd be the end of everything. Maybe this is my fault. I could have overwatered the burrow or pruned something I wasn't supposed to. That worry is always on my mind.
Jule,
Here's a thought, Jule. We could all search for the reason the flowers aren't blooming.
Huh? But don't you need to find that Aaron guy who stole from you?
You said so yourself. No one has come through the burrow but us. We trust you to know what's going on in your home. Besides, I'm the Soul Guard. It's my duty to find the Alm and protect them from harm.
Look, I appreciate the thought, but there's no cure for the burrow. It's pointless.
Oh, honestly. Stop quitting before you start, kid. Come on, folks. We've got a job to do. I think this place doesn't get enough sunlight. That's what.
The landscape in Verdius hasn't changed in millennia. They would have had problems long before now if it was the sun.
Maybe Gnome's powers are too weak to reach here?
It is true that Elusia is a tad far from other terrain. The solution may be that the sustenance given to the sprouts is being sucked dry.
That's a lot of leads to eliminate. Let's take a look around the area first.
The reason... Wait, could it be?
Where'd Joulet get off to? Well, while we wait for him, we can try to figure out the cause of all this.
There could be a parasite polishing off the necessary nutrients in the soil, or a weed consuming the water until all else withers. Other villagers in Longren took care of our crops. I've never had a green thumb. Joulet mentioned overwatering, but you'd think the vegetation would show signs of rot if that were the case. Unless it's down in the roots?
The whole area is covered in plants. No one can get through all this.
You'd think that, but I've gone through
Maybe
worse.
that's for the best. We don't want Orin sneaking past us. Unless he's the one that blocked it off?
Val, I surrender. I don't know anything about growing plants.
This foray is fascinating. Practically none of this flora was included in the almanacs of my adolescence.
There's no getting around it. We have to ask the Elemental of Wood for help.
Great idea! If the elemental doesn't know what's wrong, no one will.
Aww, I wanted to be the one to rub it in Joulet's face when we found the answer.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint you, Karina, but we haven't got the time to waste on fumbling around in the undergrowth.
Dryad is the elemental of wood, and well-versed of these wilds. But who can say where we may find her? Would that I knew.
At times like these, it's best to ask the locals.
And there's only one local.
Great. Gotta bother Joulet again. Just what I need.
Huh? It can't be.
Those three? Did they just follow us up the vine?
Hello again, weary travelers! What a surprise!
How did you get here?
Don't you know there's a big old stalk that reaches all the way up here? My sisters and I didn't want to waste this once in 4 years opportunity, so we climbed up.
Yeah.
We figured now was the perfect chance to gather exotic ingredients like Verdius nectar for flavorings and potions.
Besides, this place has everything! Ancient forests, dangerous pilgrimages, mysterious Gaian explorers. What's not to like?
Wait, how did you hear about
Sounds
Orin?
like you three have a full itinerary.
Wait a minute. Did you say Gaian explorers? Where did you see one of those?
Oh, there was a dashing young adventurer of that description over by the tree. We saw him ahead of us. We did lose track of him, though.
Had to focus on keeping our footing and all.
Orin's on his way.
Did you see a sproutling around here? Short, green, leafy?
Nope. But I sure would love to meet a sproutling in the flesh. Bark? What was that? A terrifying cry, that's what! It came from the direction of Milos Woods. Someone might be in trouble!
Probably
Could
that
be
boss
Joulet,
arena that we
or even
passed.
Orin. Let's check it out.
Oh, before you go, do you need to stock up on anything? Now's your chance!
Anything you want, for a price. Grab the goods you need to save your friend. Don't get stingy now. Buy, buy, buy!
They're the spitting image of father in miniature.
That cry was coming from Milos. We have to check it out.
Be sure to talk to my merchant sisters if you need to stock up on anything.
Preparedness is key. Who knows what perils lie in the path ahead?
Julie, what are you doing over there?
What am I doing? What are you doing?
We can handle this. Stand back.
We call this critter Grapplevine. It was too strong for me to uproot it when it decided to nest near the burrow. Be careful!
It's coming for us. Get ready, everyone.
We need to weed out enemies like this one.
Quit causing trouble, you troublemaker! Spirit!
Looks like it's working.
Hang in there.
That's the spirit.
Lumina. I feel sick. I'm on it. Go!
Really?
I will take over. Submit!
It won't go down so easy.
You forced my hand.
I got this. Hang on. It moves? You're mine! I feel sick.
I'll deal with this.
I got this. Behold my power! No holding back! You're wearing it down!
Yes, now is the time to strike. You ready, bud?
Here, use this! Here, use this!
There we go.
Spirits will answer our call.
You saved me. Thanks.
It was a close call. We were almost too late. Why did you wander off on your own?
Oh, look in the mirror, buddy.
Oh, now what?
I mean, that you made me wonder if Grapplevine might be the cause of the problems in the burrow. Don't get me wrong, this could all still be by the goddess's will, but I wasn't quite as sure anymore. And you all seem so convinced that something could be done, so I wanted to check. But then I got attacked.
Fair enough.
Huh. And here I thought you were mad at us again. Glad to see we've convinced you to change your stubborn ways.
That's one way to put it.
Destiny doesn't just fall into your lap every time.
Maybe. But you weren't able to figure out what keeps the flowers from blooming either, right?
Yeah, we're definitely not experts in gardening. But when in doubt, it's best to ask for help. Julie, do you know where the elemental of wood is?
Dryad? Easy peasy. Let me give her a ring. Oh, Dryad.
Oh, hello.
Oh, yes, hello. Jeepers, you got here fast. Were you nearby? Oh, forgive me. That is to say, I was looking for you, Julie. But then I saw you were tied up with Grapplevine and wasn't certain what to do. Oh, dear, the alms. Please excuse me. I am known as Dryad.
A particular pleasure indeed, Dryad. We were just inquiring as to your whereabouts.
Yes, I could hear you from over there, and I think I may know what caused all of this fuss. As Julie guessed, Grapplevine was the one behind it all. It absorbed all the nutrients from the plants, stunting their growth. That's why the flowers wouldn't blossom.
Well, the monster is gone now. So that means...
The flowers, my friends! Dryad, this is great. There'll be an alm after all. We can expect the blooms at any moment. Gee whiz! There's still so much to do. I have to get ready to welcome the fairy. Meet you back in Verdius.
He's got some spring in his step now.
Could I ask you, Alms, and you, Sir Soulguard, to join Julay?
Sure.
Irregular as this situation may be, you will be one of the few pilgrimages to see the flowering firsthand. That should count for something, I think.
Wonder how many have made it up here early enough to see the flowering.
Julay's in a better mood. I guess he gets grouchy when he's worried.
Lucky for us. For now, let's head to the appointment ceremony of the Alm of Wood.
Okay, we just got something to expand Julay's elemental pot, so I guess I know who's going to be my, 5th player character.
Dryad, come on! Shake a root! Again, my apologies for the delay. I was considering Verdius' future and consulting with the denizens of the woods and such. Now then, let me see. With this spring breeze, I bid the trees awaken, bloom forth! Huh? Whoa!
Wasn't expecting that one.
How unexpected! No flowers on the sleeping trees, but a flower blossoming right out of your head! Ow! Blossoming sproutling Julay. By the grace of the goddess of mana, I name you the Alm of Wood. Ah, this scent is divine!
There we go.
My hibernating friends didn't bloom. I did. A humble
one of them will
custodian
wake
like
up soon,
me,
though.
an alm. I thought only dormant sproutlings were fated to blossom. Oh, yes, well, you see, I was planning to choose you from the very beginning. That's why I went searching for you. Would you, Julay, be my emissary to the mana tree and fulfill the duty of the Alm of Wood? You got it, Dryad! Oh, but if I'm the Alm of Wood, who will stay to tend and water my sleeping friends? They could brown or shrivel up and wither without proper hydration. I can't leave them alone like that, Dryad. That'd be worse than any disaster that could befall Verdius.
I think that one's a pretty easy one to
Julay?
solve, though.
Come to us. We have a message for you. Wait, that's...
Julay? What's wrong?
I can hear my friends. They want to tell me something. Come on, let's go talk to them.
I didn't notice anything, but I guess Julay could hear the voices of his friends. Better stick with him and check this out.
Huh?
There's one more alm in the party. Time to make like a tree and leaf.
Okay.
My friends are calling to me. Will you come with me and see what they have to say?
Yes,
Oh my, the fairy is already departed. She never has time to linger, I fear. This is a big change for Julay. He needs time to think. The trees all around, the trees around us all seem to be rejoicing at the appointment of an alm. The restless rustling has relented for a bit already. Has relented a bit already.
Julay, you've kept us company with your joyful singing. We asked Dryad to choose you as the on our behalf. That monster in Milo's woods has been draining us of our mana. We have nothing to spare on our buds. Grapplevine is defeated, but it will take time before we can bloom again. Too much time to avoid the destruction of the burrow.
But what will you do without a custodian? You'll dry up.
Don't worry about us. Things will work out. Believe in the future of the burrow. We need you to convey the wishes of the Sproutlings to the Mana Tree.
But you've all waited so long for the chance to be an alm. I can't take that honor away.
There'll be another one in 4 years, once there be.
Together we will see the future flourish.
Wowie, the elemental vessel. Dryad Sprig.
Oh, dear. So that's where it went.
Dryad
We
didn't
forgot to
know.
return it before we went to sleep. Sorry. But now that our work here is done, I think it's time to go back to sleep. Enjoy the Mana Tree, Dulé. We'll see each other again.
Take the words of encouragement from your countrymen to heart. You're lucky they can see you off on your journey. There was no one left in my hometown of Etern to wish me luck when I left with Val. But maybe, just maybe, there's a chance at bringing some life back to the parish if I complete the alms duty. That's my hope, at least.
Morley's right. It would have been nice to leave the veil with everyone's blessing, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that. Everyone at home always told me I wasn't fit to be an alm. But this journey has given me a lot to think about now that I'm here.
And this from the person lecturing me about alms and duties just a moment ago. Sounds like the pilgrimage hasn't been easy so far. Thanks for putting up with me earlier. I look forward to our journey together. As short as it is. The Mana Tree's just over there, after all.
Happy to
I think
have you,
we
Jule.
have a lot more journey left than you think. Jule has joined the party.
Oh, what are we going to do about the greenery blocking our way out of Vertius?
I apologize. That was my doing. I wanted to ensure that the path to the Mana Tree was protected. I will clear the way. Please give me a moment.
Obtain the Dryad Sprig. Custodian, a sproutling from Vertius Burrow who spends his time looking after his sleeping friends. Equipped with a wand, he uses the power of flowers in battle.
I feel stronger than ever.
Piper! With the power of wind, this class can use their umbrellas to reduce the amount of damage the party receives from certain monster types, and increase the damage dealt to them.
Whoa, what's this new power?
Occultist! A moon class that can conjure up floral projectiles with a wand, and use offensive magic to wipe out enemies.
stronger than ever.
Scholar! Wielding wands attuned to the element of water, this class can reduce the amount of damage the party receives from certain monster types, and increases the damage dealt to them.
Whoa, what's this new power?
Gatekeeper! Wielding mighty hammers, these fire-aligned protectors can mitigate the damage dealt by certain monster types, as well as heal allies.
I feel stronger than ever.
Hunter! Vigilant scouts that use their giant hammers and clash strikes to dish out large amounts of damage. This class is attuned to the power of Earth.
Whoa, what's this new power?
Sage! A class that uses its wood affinity to teach foolhardy enemies a lesson. They use their parasols in aerial combat and have abilities that can poison opponents.
I can aid my allies with this new strength.
Beast Leader. Having tamed various monsters to call forth in battle, this wood-aligned class can increase the strength of its summoning spells and use flails to overpower its foes.
I'm eager to try out my new skills.
Samurai. Why is it not? Samurai, an adept swordsman who is one with the wood element. This class can strike at enemies from a distance, and also has the potential to reduce the damage when taken when attacked.
This is just the beginning.
Conjurer. Mediums of the element of wood. They use their fans to summon monsters to fight in battle and can also attack in tandem with Ranko.
this my new power?
Edelfrey. Aligned with the element of wood and master of the small sword, this class is excellent at airborne combat. Those who take on this class learn abilities that target enemy weaknesses.
Dryad, we made it! Oh, good! I shall open the path for you. Heave, heave, and a whoosh! There you are!
We have come upon the far corner of Milos Woods.
Once we get out of here, our goal should be in sight.
Excuse me, Sir Soulguard? Beyond these trees is what is known as the Sanctuary of Mana. Unfortunately, only the alms are permitted to enter. The Soulguard cannot go past the entrance.
Yeah, I know. Either way, first I have my duty to Hina to fulfill. I will get her core stone back.
The merchant sister saw Orin when they were going up the jack tree, right? You're not gonna wait for him here, are you?
If only we had an idea of his plans, we could try and head him off.
I don't know the fella, but if this Aaron went to the trouble of climbing up to Lucia, he probably wants something from the mana tree, right?
Yeah, the Sword of Mana.
Why don't we stick together at least until we reach the entrance? Who knows? Maybe he'll come to you.
You're right. Let's forge ahead for now.
Oh, do be safe on your travels.
There is a barrier around the Mana Sanctuary. Only alms are able to cross it, I am afraid.
What? Really? But what if we get surrounded by monsters and we don't have Val to take them on?
Don't worry. No monsters can trespass in the sanctuary.
Sounds like Morley did his research. The goddess protects the sanctuary from monsters with that barrier. Milos Woods and the Sanctuary of Mana are all a part of the spirit realm. Or they were at least.
The what now? Spirit realm?
Well, it's a realm, but for spirits. It's where elementals and sproutlings came from. In the past, it used to be separate from the mortal realm, where humans live. The Mana Goddess used to be able to protect the spirit realm from monsters. But when all the realms merged, that changed.
Merged, you say?
Yup. Once monsters began to emerge in Milos, the goddess had to create the barrier to protect the sanctuary. It's really strong. Strong enough to protect the goddess and the mana tree. So don't worry. There's no way a silly monster could break through and get us.
Oh. Well, okay then. If you're sure.
Besides, you four are pretty strong. Milos Woods.
Every place we visit is unique. Under the cliffs was not nearly as unsullied as this climate.
We are pretty close to the mana tree. Plus, barely anyone but the convoy of alms ever passes through here.
Not people, but it looks like monsters sure do. Tread carefully.
Yep. So there you go. slow because I do nothing? Yeah. Sweet.
We're here! This is the entrance to the Sanctuary of Mana itself.
Finally! I'm a bundle of nerves. Excited, anxious, the works. But I guess the mana tree is gonna have to wait. First, we need to get Hina's core stone.
The tree is all the way inside the sanctuary past the gateway, safely tucked away from trespassers and mischief makers.
Orin is likely to be loitering in this location.
Yeah.
This is our last mission before we reach our journey's end.
I feel like he's trying to bring down the barrier
You said something about a sword being kept here, right?
so he can get at the sword.
I sure did. Want to see? It's stuck in a huge rock. You can't miss it.
Yes, I want to see that. Sanctuary entrance.
Yes! Taking this. Found you, little cactus.
I didn't even see him. I just heard him. He found me. Where to next?
Huh.
Looks like he dropped something.
Finally, we've arrived in the domain of the Mana Goddess and tree.
The sword sticking out of that rock is the legendary mana sword?
Orin could be lying in wait. We would do well to search the area for visitors.
Oh, yeah, that's the mana sword, all right. And he's standing next to it.
Is that?
Yep, that's the one and only mana sword. Oh, and a visitor.
Yeah, that's Orin.
Orin?
Val, I'm sorry. This was the only way I could get my hands on the mana sword.
That's why you're here? The sword?
That's right. Do you even know the miracles I can perform with this power?
I feel like that's
I
supposed to
can
go to
save
Val.
Liza, cure her of her cursed petrification. And that's not even the half of it. She's still the Alm of Earth. Until I can release her, she'll never be free. That's why I need the sword. I have to change the world for the better. Get rid of the Alm's sacrifice altogether, so that our loved ones don't have to die to preserve the
That
future
doesn't
for the
look like
rest
it's
of us.
just a rock.
You're
I feel
saying
like
you
there's a
sacrificed
reason.
Hina's life in order to save Liza? We trusted you, Orin. Both of us did. And you betrayed us!
As the Soul Guard, you're charged with ensuring the Alms meet their ends by completing the pilgrimage. You were prepared to lose Hina then? I just made her sacrifice come a little earlier than expected. For the sake of the world, you can hate me. I won't blame you. But with my plan, we'll never have to sacrifice another person ever again. Alms will no longer have a reason to exist. We'll be freed from this horrible tradition of loss and regret.
I get the feeling that that sword is in that stone
Sorry,
for a reason.
but I think Orin might be right about this. Hina and other alms before her were denied the life they wanted to live. His words are tempting.
Val, you can't.
Even so, the alms have never been just a means to an end. Not to me. Their sacrifice has to mean more than that. This world exists because the alms carry with them the hopes and dreams.
I can pause. Awesome. So what I want to say about that sword. Now I've seen this before in Zelda games, and that's what I'm thinking of. I feel like that sword is maintaining a seal on something, and I'm guessing that something is whatever is in that rock, because it doesn't look like just a rock to me. It looks like a lot more. It looks a lot more like an egg. And whatever would be in an egg that big is probably not good news. So, and remember, in Trials of Mana, there was a seal maintained on the Benevodons, and Benevodons have been mentioned before in this game, but only in the lore that's in the guides that I read, and only once. So they might not be in this game, but I get the feeling that there's something related to them that's being sealed away by that sword. There's got to be a reason that they did away with the sword thing and went to the alm system, and I get the feeling we're going to find out real soon.
Of all those who came before, and those who will come after them. I know in my heart that this world is sick. But Hina was never meant to be used as a pawn by anyone.
Of course she wasn't. None of us want her life to be lost in vain.
There has to be a way to obtain the Mana Sword without Hina's core stone.
Regardless, this should not be your call. It is pitifully presumptuous of you to assume you know the wishes of all alms, past and present.
My Sproutling friends entrusted me with this duty, and I mean to see it through. You don't speak for me, mister.
Thanks, everyone. As long as I have friends on this journey who need me, I'll continue to serve them as the Soul Guard. Even if we end our pilgrimage at the Mana Tree, I'm in charge of my own destiny. Hina is my responsibility. You have to return her core stone now, Orin!
You can't stop this. Without a core stone, I can't pry the Mana Sword from this rock. I have to bring back the world of Fadiel for Liza. No. For all of us who don't want to lose the people we hold dear. In the past, there were no alms to sacrifice. Mortals, spirits, Benevodon monsters, even the goddess herself, all lived in the different realms that made up Fadiel. But years ago, the 5 realms were condensed into one. That mangled world was called Kidiel. It's the world that you and I know today. With the power of the Mana Sword, we can return Kidiel to the Fadiel it once was. Split it into a world that doesn't need to have soul offerings. The Mana Sword is right in front of us! They say that only the Chosen One can wield it. If that's the case, then that's just what I'll be. Even if it means betraying my friends, my village, I will have the sword!
I feel like the only one who can actually draw that is Val. But yeah, that looks not like just a rock.
Orin! What are you doing with Hina's core stone?
Cleansing the sword. Preparing it to be drawn. That's what he's doing.
No, Hina!
That was whatever was in the rock. That can't be Orin.
You're the voice I heard from the megalith, aren't you?
Yep.
Stop it!
Had a feeling.
Hina!
Earth shall be first.
Earth? Give me that sword! I earned it! Orin! Return Hina's core stone now!
You are not even worth the stretch of my sword arm.
It can't be. Delophos? After all this time?
My. Correct, Sproutling. Your reward is the ruination that awaits you all.
You can't have Hina's core stone. I won't let him!
I never saw myself battling against the king of Delophos in this lifetime.
You're
I'm only just getting started. Push through! Use the Vassarok core. It's immobilized! Later, go! Thanks!
You forced my hand.
Here, use this!
Hey, Dad.
No! Can't stop him! Watch out! Silken boomerang! Thanks! Don't stop attacking! I think I can use the best.
That's it. I'll combat as boss.
He's far too powerful!
There's no way we can win this.
All our advances will be futile if our adventure ends here.
I'm all for retreating personally.
Who is this guy? He was referred to as a hero, but he sure isn't acting like one.
Trent, you're helping us?
This land will not be desecrated by the powers of evil on my watch.
Never thought I'd see the overseer of the sanctuary intervene like this.
Now is the time to withdraw, Arms.
No! I can't just run away! I have to save Hina! I have to get her core stone!
Listen, this isn't a fight we can win right now. We have to pull back.
Found out what what that sword was sealing away. Hello, I'm Dragon Rider Luke. I'm a Christian streamer, and I'm always up for a friendly chat about my faith. I also think that it's important that people read or hear the Word of God frequently, so the next 5 minutes or so will be a chapter from the Bible. If it feels like I'm skipping around, that's because you're not watching my videos in stream order. Leviticus 25. The Lord said to Moses at Mount Sinai, "Speak to the Israelites and say to them, when you enter the land I am going to give you, the land itself must observe a Sabbath to the Lord. For 6 years sow your fields, and for 6 years prune your vineyards and gather their crops. But in the 7th year the land is to have a year of Sabbath rest, a Sabbath to the Lord. Do not sow your fields or prune your vineyards. Do not reap what grows of itself, or harvest the grapes of your untended vines. The land is to have a year of rest. Whatever the land yields during the Sabbath year will be food for you, for yourself, your male and female servants, and the hired worker and temporary resident who live among you, as well as for your livestock and the wild animals in your land. Whatever the land produces may be eaten. Count off 7 Sabbath years, 7 times 7 years, so that the 7 Sabbath years amount to a period of 49 years. Then have the trumpet sounded everywhere on the 10th day of the 7th month. On the Day of Atonement, sound the trumpet throughout your land. Consecrate the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout the land to all its inhabitants. It shall be a jubilee for you. Each of you is to return to your family property and to your own clan. The 50th year shall be a jubilee for you. Do not sow and do not reap what grows of itself, or or harvest the untended vines, for it is a jubilee, and is to be holy for you. Eat only what is taken directly from the fields. In this year of jubilee, everyone is to return to their own property. If you sell any land to any of your own people, or buy land from them, do not take advantage of each other. You are to buy from your own people on the basis of the number of years since the jubilee, and they are to sell to you on the basis of the number of years left for harvesting crops. When the years are many, you are to increase the price, and when the years are few, you are to decrease the price, because what is really being sold to you is the number of crops. Do not take advantage of each other, but fear your God. I am the Lord your God. Follow my decrees and be careful to obey my laws, and you will live safely in the land. Then the land will yield its fruit, and you will eat your fill and live there in safety. You may ask, what will we eat in the 7th year if we do not plant or harvest our crops? I will send you such a blessing in the 6th year that the land will yield enough for 3 years. While you plant during the 8th year, you will eat from the old crop and will continue to eat from it until the harvest of the 9th year comes in. The land must not be sold permanently, because the land is mine, and you reside in my land as foreigners and strangers. Throughout the land that you hold as a possession, throughout the land that you hold as a possession, you must provide for the redemption of the land. If one of your fellow Israelites becomes poor and sells some of their property, their nearest relative is to come and redeem what they have sold. If, however, there is no one to redeem it for them, but later on they prosper and acquire sufficient means to redeem it themselves, they are to determine the value for the years since they sold it and refund the balance to the one to whom they sold it. They can then go back to their own property. But if they do not acquire the means to repay, what was sold will remain within possession of the buyer until the year of Jubilee. It will be returned in the Jubilee, and they can then go back to their property. Anyone who sells a house in a walled city retains the right of redemption a full year after its sale. During that time, the seller may redeem it. If it is not redeemed before a full year has passed, the house in the walled city shall belong permanently to the buyer and the buyer's descendants. It is not to be returned in the Jubilee, but houses in villages without walls around them are to be considered as belonging to the open country. They can be redeemed, and they are to be returned in the Jubilee. The Levites always have the right to redeem their houses in the Levitical towns, which they possess. So the property of the Levites is redeemable, that is, a house sold in any town they hold, and is to be returned in the Jubilee, because the houses in the towns of the Levites are their property among the Israelites. But the pasture land belonging to their towns must not be sold. It is their permanent possession. If any of your fellow Israelites become poor and are unable to support themselves among you, help them as you would a foreigner and a stranger, so they can continue to live among you. Do not take interest or any profit from them, but fear your God, so that they may continue to live among you. You must not lend them money at interest or sell them food at a profit. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of Egypt to give you the land of Canaan and to be your God. If any of your fellow Israelites become poor and sell themselves to you, do not make them work as slaves. They are to be treated as hired workers or temporary residents among you. They are to work for you until the year of Jubilee. Then they and their children are to be released, and they will go back to their own clans and to the property of their ancestors. Because the Israelites are my servants, whom I brought out of Egypt, they must not be sold as slaves. Do not rule over them ruthlessly, but fear your God. Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living among you, and members of their clans born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property, and can make slaves of them make them slaves for life. But you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. If a foreigner residing among you becomes rich, and any of your fellow Israelites become poor, and sell themselves to the foreigner or to a member of the foreigner's clan, they retain the right of redemption after they have sold themselves. One of their relatives may redeem them. An uncle or a cousin or any blood relative in their clan may redeem them. Or if they prosper, they may redeem themselves. They and their buyer are to count the time from the year they sold themselves up to the year of Jubilee. The price for their release is to be based on the rate paid to a hired worker for that number of years. If many years remain, they must pay for their redemption a larger share of the price paid for them. If only a few years remain until the year of Jubilee, they are to compute that and pay for the redemption accordingly. They are to be treated as workers hired from year to year. You must see to it that those to whom they owe service do not rule over them ruthlessly. Even if someone is not redeemed in any of these ways, they and their children are to be released in the year of Jubilee, for the Israelites belong to me as servants. They are my servants, whom I brought out of Egypt. I am the Lord your God. May God bless the reading of his word. Hey, we finished chapter 4. Back with a vengeance. Why was the hero acting so villainously?
Curse it all. Now Hina's core stone is...
How did a man like that get trapped outside the sanctuary?
For Wheeler Woe, he knows not our whereabouts.
Trent's probably keeping him plenty busy.
First things first, who is Trent? For that matter, who is De La Who's-It?
Golly, you don't know anything, do you? I'm not a historian, but I'll summarize what I can. Trent is one of the goddess's emissaries. He watches over the entrance to the sanctuary to keep the people who aren't supposed to be in there out. I guess you could call him a neutral overseer. His job is to protect the goddess, but he's not exactly one to stick his leaves into the business of the alms who come his way. We're lucky we got him in a good mood, or we'd be goners. As for the gentleman who is sealed away in the rock, his name is Delafos. Long ago he tried, and failed to overthrow the mana goddess herself.
Ah.
Inconceivable!
Unfortunately, it looks like that long nap didn't change his mind about revenge either.
Overthrow the goddess? But why would he do that?
Don't ask me. We weren't friends or anything. When Delafos was defeated the first time, his powers splintered, scattering all across the mortal realm. Lost to time and memory.
You're saying that the form we just fought wasn't even close to his true strength.
That's about the gist of it. If you ask me, Delafos is gonna need to find the rest of his fragmented power before he does anything else.
This complicates our current mission considerably.
Yep.
Given your age, I am fascinated by the breadth of your familiarity with history, Jule. I love to learn myself, but I have not heard half the stories you have related to us.
My age? Oh, right. I keep forgetting how little you know about spirit folk. Sproutlings have a very, very long lifespan.
Yeah, I feel like he's like
That guy from before, Orin, was it?
5,000.
He mentioned something about Key and Fadiel, right? When I first sprouted, the world was called Fadiel. I know what I say sometimes sounds like ancient folklore, but it really was the world I grew up in.
You mean to tell me you're actually an old man?
Huh. The fact that I'm older than I look is your takeaway from all that?
I'm only 17. Should I be, I don't know, more respectful? Sir?
Nah, there's no need to get stuffy on me now, Sonny.
Sonny.
More importantly, we gotta do something about Delafos. And soon. The places where his divided power is being kept are the exact same ones where the Benevodons are locked away.
Oh, Benevodons are in this game.
Benevodons?
Yup. Delafos will have to release the seals to take back his power, which, lucky us, means the monsters can break loose.
There must be some mistake. I have read the old texts, and the Benevodons were felled by the legendary sword of the ancient hero Delafos. The goddess bequeathed her blade to her champion to aid him in his adventure. It is an epic tale passed down through the generations in prose and performance alike.
Golly, they made plays? Mortals sure do like to talk about things they don't understand.
Then, do you think the story's gotten warped over the years?
Well, it is true that Delafos was sent to destroy the Benevodons.
So wait, what's the problem?
If both Palomina and Jule's accounts are to be believed, then Delafos must be planning to revive his once defeated foes, using those great monsters to visit his wrath upon the mana goddess.
If he's as stubborn as I remember, that's exactly what Delafos wants. Resurrecting the Benevodons will throw the whole world out of whack. Even completing our pilgrimage wouldn't be enough to balance things out.
Well, time to go.
Getting Hina's
smack
core
them.
stone from Orin is one thing. How are we supposed to take it from an ancient hero?
Right now, we're the only ones who know that Delafos is back. There's no one else we can turn to.
So you do intend to go after him?
I don't care if he's some legendary champion. He still took Hina's core stone, and I won't let him get away with it.
I'll go with you. It's way too late to turn back now anyway. Plus, I don't think my friends back in the burrow would want me to abandon the rest of the alms to go to the mana tree on my own.
It was never my intention to stay behind. The more of us stand against the enemy, the easier the fight will be. You'll need backup.
As a former dignitary, I cannot condone an individual such as Delafos destroying any domain, no matter how diminutive.
Delafos got the drop on us last time. Without the element of surprise, we can take him. And Hina's core stone, for that matter.
Now that that's settled, what's next?
Let's not go back to the sanctuary yet. I think that tree guy might be mad at us for the mess we left behind.
Delafos said something about Earth after he woke up, right? Do you think he meant Guju?
Well, yeah. The Benevodons are sealed away near where each alm is chosen for the pilgrimage, of course.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
But Liza and Watts are still in the area. We have to get back to Guju.
Yep.
I'm worried for Liza's safety. And Watts too, for that matter. We gotta hurry. But first things first. We gotta make sure we're battle ready. I'm not letting Delafos make off with Hina's core stone again.
Recently, my dad's been craving this kind of mushroom broth he used to love when he was younger. The recipe uses mushgloom stems, but you can only get them from a monster called a mushgloom. Apparently, these mushglooms are only found in the Milos backwoods. Talk about hard to get. There's no way I can go to such a dangerous place by myself and expect to come back alive. But you're the Soul Guard, right? Could you go take the stems off those mushglooms for me? Sure. There's other quests here. What a touching letter. Is there nothing I can do for this youngster? Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't see you there. How can I be of assistance? What was I doing just now, you ask? I was reading a letter I found inside a bottle that had washed up to shore. In fact, the bottle contained 2 letters, one written by a sick and a lonely child, and a reply written by a kindly gentleman. Reading their heartfelt interaction awoke something within me. I wished to do something for this child, something to cheer them up. But what? Oh yes, I know. A Therese seed would be the perfect gift. The Therese is a flower that grows in these parts. If you take good care of it, it blossoms with the most wonderful iridescent petals. Anyone who sees a Therese in full bloom can't help but smile at its beauty. If our little friend here is strong enough to write a letter, we'll be more than able to grow the seed. When the flower blooms, I'm sure it'll liven their spirits. Unfortunately, I have to attend to my post here, so I can't very well leave the garrison to go look for a Therese seed. I'm sorry to trouble you, but would you mind heading to the Quasia Moors to look for a Therese seed? Thereses normally grow near water. If you can find a pool or stream, you should see a few seeds nearby. It isn't much, but I'd like to put a smile on the youngster's face. No child deserves to live in unhappiness.
Oh!
You found the mushroom stems! Thanks, Soul Guard. I was about ready to use a different ingredient to make the broth. I'll tell my dad that you found these. I'm sure he'll be thrilled. This is nowhere near enough to compensate you for your troubles, but here, I hope you can accept this.
That was a great new experience. Spirits, come forth! You're mine! Next! Stick to it!
Summon the spirits to our side. Easy enemies.
Okay. Come at me!
Oh,
Feel the breath of mana! Unleashing my full power! Come at me!
Rival remains.
Nothing is going to deter me! A rare item!
Wrath of Wood.
Ready whenever!
Could this be a Therese seed? It was on the ground close to the water, so it's gotta be. Yep, I think that's our seed. You can't find this kind of flower over in my neck of the woods, mind you, but I'm sure it'll look lovely once it blooms. I believe Jule's confirmation is convincing evidence enough. Watch out, we seem to have disturbed some monsters. Have we trespassed onto their turf? It doesn't look like we can get out of this one easily. Get ready, everyone.
Watch yourselves, everyone! Speelklok, come forth!
Drop your defenses into the very end.
Reveal the breath of mana! You're finished!
Come on, drop your defenses into the very end.
Okay.
Three seed.
I've got your back. Hey.
Hello there. Did you manage to find a Therese seed in the end? Yes, that's the one. Thank you for finding it. Here, I want to give you this as a token of my gratitude. Now, I'll take that seed off your hands and place it in the bottle with the letter I wrote earlier. All that's left is to release it into the ocean and pray it finds its way back to the child. I feel happy inside all of a sudden, like my spirits have been uplifted. Bonds of friendship can be powerful indeed. When the bottle reaches them, I hope the child feels the same.
That was a great new experience.
3 honey elixirs. Nice. Had gorgeous weather the other day, huh? I took advantage and went for a picnic by myself over on the Quasia Moors. But as I sat down to take my first bite, a sudden gust of wind ripped past me. Next thing I knew, my lunch had disappeared. When I looked up, I saw a flock of harpies high above. They were flying around in slow, deliberate circles as if to mock me, and they were eating my lunch! Words can't describe the rage that welled up within me. Listen, could you go to the Quasia Moors and give those harpies a piece of my mind? Revenge is a picnic best... What's that say? Revenge is a picnic best served stolen.
Oh!
So you took down those harpies. Nice. Very nice. Here, take this as thanks.
Helping out people in need can be so rewarding.
Got a strength serum for that. Well, this is just great. Now what am I gonna do? Whoops, sorry about that. I thought I was using my inside voice there. I'm in a mighty fine pickle, you see. These crawlers appeared and started eating up all the crops in my field. I put way too much love and care into raising my crops just to have some darn pests waltz over and gobble them all up. You mind clearing away those creepy crawlers for me? I promise you won't be working for free. Come on, what do you say?
I can deal with that.
Lend me your power! Come at me! Got it! Take this! Take this! Silken boomerang! Come at me!
Poison my way.
Here, use this! You're mine!
Do not drop your defenses until the very end.
Got it!
Bingo! A fearsome foe.
Let me see. Is this?
Consecutive casting wood.
Ready whenever.
Ah! Someone, anyone, help me!
Always too much time.
This is how it's done.
Phew! If you hadn't come along when you did, I might have been seriously hurt. Thanks. You might be a young bunch, but you're tough. Make no mistake. Hang on, meeting this lad might be destiny working in my favor. Say, I know you just saved my skin, but I wonder if I might ask you a favor. First, allow me to introduce myself. I'm a deer. I make a living as a farmer, but my real passion is for art. I love to paint as well as Darnie, but while I might not ever reach those heights, I'd at least like some lasting recognition for my work. Just the other day, I had an idea for a new painting. If I get it right, I believe it could become my best work yet. A masterpiece, if you will. The problem is I need a specific kind of pigment to make the paint I want to use, and I don't have nearly enough in stock. That's where you young folk come in. Do you think you could go to Gorge and gather some of this pigment for me? There will be monsters to deal with, no doubt, but you seem more than capable of holding your own. So, will you help me out? It's for my masterpiece. Don't forget. Find high-quality pigment. Okay. Howdy! I saw how y'all took care of those annoying old crawlers. Y'all are tough as old boots, huh? Almost makes me want to hire y'all to help out on my farm. Anyways, now I don't have to worry about no nasty vermin coming in and devouring my hard work no more. It's a load off my mind, I'll tell you that for free. Here, I got this for you. Don't think nothing of it. Y'all deserve it.
Helping out people in need can be so rewarding. Taking this.
Premium pigment with vivid, opaque colors. Oh, I was hoping I'd catch you. Were you able to find the pigment? High quality pigment. You were? Let me see. Yes, this is exactly what I was hoping for. And it seems this year's pigment is especially vibrant. This will make excellent paint, I'm certain. The goddess of mana must be smiling on me today. Ahem. Sorry, I seem to have gotten a little carried away. Anyway, thank you for acquiring the pigment. Here's your reward. Now I must pick up my brush and begin painting before my inspiration fades. So long.
That was a great new experience.
Oh no.
Traveler, it's you. Allow me to apologize for the way I acted last time. I shouldn't have sent you away like that, considering all you've done for me. I was going to tell you everything eventually, I swear. I don't blame Mr. Doratoni, but that wasn't what I had in mind. It all came out so suddenly, I wasn't emotionally prepared. But I am now, and there's more you should know. My parents weren't of the same social standing. My father was raised in poverty, and my mother came from an affluent family. Things were different back then. People believed it was improper for a couple of such different backgrounds to wed. My mother's parents were the most bitterly opposed. They thought father was only in it for the lucre. The things they used to say about him don't bear repeating. Then one day, mother reached the end of her tether and ran away from home, never to return. When father heard what she'd done, he packed his bags and eloped with her. They left Ilistana and their old lives behind. Because of that, I grew up very poor as a child. Even so, we stuck together through hard times. No matter how bad things got, we knew we were always had each other. I was happy with just that. Until the day everything changed. Well, there you have it. The sob story that is my life. Sorry you had to hear it. Yet, you always listen to me so attentively. Thank you. It feels good to get it all off my chest, I must say. Perhaps you could lend me your ears again in the future? You truly are a kind soul, did you know that? I imagine you must get that a lot. Anyway, since you're here, there was something else I wanted to ask of you. I'm searching for the place in this painting. Might you have a clue where it's located? Yep. It looks to me like Critter Ridge, but I'm not sure precisely where. Sorry for asking you all these favors, but please know that I always appreciate your help. You worry too much, Lily T. Your tail is adorable. That's easy for you to say, Mike. Mine's not so big or as fleecy as yours is. I can't help but compare them. Yours doesn't have to look like mine, you know. Having different tails is part of what makes us all unique. Yeah, I know, but... Oh, Lily T. What do I need to do to make you feel more comfortable in your own fur? Did you overhear our conversation just now? My name's Mike, and this is my best friend Lily T. She's always been insecure about her tail, worrying that it's not as big or as fluffy as everyone else's. I don't really know what she's going on about. I think she has a beautiful tail. Oh, I've got an idea. Sir, do you think you can ask other people who have tails what they think of theirs? I don't think Lily T will listen to anything I have to say, but perhaps hearing it from someone else will help her to feel better about herself. What do you say, sir? Can you lend me a hand for Lily T?
Leave it to me.
Tales with tales to tell. Soulguard, to what do I owe the honor? Wish to hear my thoughts on my beloved tail? I will gladly regale you. Over the years, I have come to view my tail as a life partner. Though its length proves cumbersome at times, it almost feels like my tail detects danger before I do. It has saved me on more occasions than I can count. I may chalk it up to the natural instinct of us beast folk, but I owe a lot to my tail. It is both useful to me and a source of great pride. May my humble experiences help you in your inquiry. Aha. This should be the place in Darney's painting. At least, I think. Looks like it to me. He must have been facing this direction as he painted the city. But on closer inspection, the angle seems a little off. Lower, perhaps. Could he have been sitting on the edge of the cliff? Seems he'll go to any lengths to achieve perfection. Hold that thought, everyone. We got company to deal with. Monster company. Correct. Let us conquer these creatures so we may continue our contemplations. Phew, glad that's over with. I'll go tell Fiona we found the spot. Long bridge to Illistana, the vast ocean, majestic coastline. And are those ruins I see in the distance? The scale of it all is jaw-dropping, to say the least. I'd stay here all day and night. I told you that Father suddenly disappeared one day, didn't I? He just up and left, leaving Mother and me alone. I was only a child back then. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I desperately wanted to know why he would do such a thing, but no answer ever came. All I ever wished for was for the three of us to live happily as a family. Was that too much to ask? Thank you for always listening. I think I'll stay here and enjoy the view some more before I return to Illistana.
That was a great new experience.
Hello there. Do you see this young lad beside me? Well, this is my son, and I want you to know that he detests crabs. It all started when he was a wee babe, around the time he learned to walk. One day, we took a family trip to the beach, but we were attacked by a cast of pincher crabs. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt, but one pincher crab did fling its pincer and struck my son's head. He's hated crabs ever since. One should always be careful around crabs, doubly so if they're monsters, but I want him to understand that crabs can be delicious despite the dangers. Well, do you think I could gather some shelled pincher crab to help my son get over his issue? Grabbing a bite to eat. Hey you! Yes, you! What, you don't remember me? I'm the merchant that asked you to take down a group of quilted hoods a while back. Ring any bells? Anyway, another group of quilted hoods has appeared and they're menacing the merchants and travelers around Britta Ridge again. I actually fell afoul of one of their attacks myself this time. They even ran off with some valuable merchandise of mine. Can I ask you to take them down one more time? I want you to go teach them an even sterner lesson than before. We don't want them coming back a third time, do we? Rest assured, you'll be compensated, just like last time. Best of luck!
Bring our way! Go for it!
You're mine! Mighty elemental! You're mine! You got it! Okay! You're mine! This is how it's done!
For your assistance.
Take this! Come at me! Take this!
One rival remains.
Unleashing my full power!
May this momentum motivate us.
Hey there, how's the Quilted Hood cleanup coming along? You beat them? Thanks! I'll be sure to tell the other merchants that you cleared the road of those nasty quilted hoods. Here's your reward. I know it's not much, but I'm sure you can find a use for it.
I'm one step closer to becoming a true soul guard.
Stamina serum.
Hi.
Oh, hello there. Can I help you with anything? You'd like to hear what I think about my tail? Sure, I suppose. Well, my tail is thicker and more sinewy than most people, but that never really bothered me very much. I like it, actually. I mean, it's pretty unique, don't you think? I will admit that tending to it can be a tad tedious, but I just see it as an opportunity to pamper myself. I hope that helps you somehow.
Hey!
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever tried grilled needlebeak leg meat? No? Boy, are you missing out. It's the juiciest meat I ever tasted, and it's packed with melt-in-your-mouth flavor. Oh great, I'm getting the cravings again, not the cravings. Say, could I ask you to find some needlebeak leg meat so I can grill some up and scratch this itch? Watch yourself out there though. Those needlebeaks are a mean sort. You should be especially wary of their beaks. If they catch you with a clean pack, there's no coming back.
We shouldn't get too comfortable.
Take this! Tilted boomerang! Easy! Come at me! You're mine! Come at me! Tilted boomerang! Easy!
One rival remains.
Okay. Thanks! Ready without it! You're mine! Tilted boomerang! You're mine!
Think you can handle this?
Take this! Easy!
This event calls for the elemental vessel.
Mighty elemental, emerge!
Summon the spirit swarm.
One more. Come at me! This was our victory. Let me see. Is this?
Revivifier!
Oh.
Hey, you're back! And you found the meat! You didn't sustain any injuries while you were out hunting, right? Good, I'm glad to hear that. Alrighty then, time to fire up that grill and make some needlebeak skewers. Oh right, let me give you a thank you gift for helping me out. Here, take this. I hardly use it anymore, so you can have it. I'm sure you'll find a better use for it than me.
I'm one step closer to becoming a true
Spirit
soul guard.
Circle.
Hi.
When I was a kid, I remember reading this story about a soul guard who met a group of friendly monsters. It was a heartfelt tale unlike anything I'd read before. Ever since then, it's been a dream of mine to befriend a monster. I've been trying to find a monster to be my buddy ever since. In fact, just the other day, I spotted a group of real friendly-looking goblins in Charred Passage. I'm sure they'd want to be pals with me. Right, I've decided. I'm going to make friends with them. Bye! Uh-oh. Never judge a goblin by its cover. Ah! Someone help! Val, you won't believe what happened! Those goblins looked all nice and welcoming, but they attacked me the moment I approached them! I'm going back to the village to get myself patched up. I'll leave the goblins to you.
I can handle this alone.
That was fast.
I am disappointed.
Oh, Val, I'm sorry for making you fight all those goblins on your own. I guess you were able to take care of them. Man, I feel bad about this. I didn't think it through at all. Thanks for saving me. Here's a little gift to show my appreciation.
That was a great new experience. Hi.
Hi, Val. My wounds from last time have healed up great. I'm as good as new. While I was recovering, I did a lot of thinking. Things might not have worked out so well, with the goblins, but I found some rabbites in the same area that sure look friendly. I mean, when I approached them, their ears shot straight up in the air. I think that was their way of saying they wanted to have a nice chat with me. No. Right, I've decided. I'm off to make friends with them for real this time. Bye. Too far down a rabbite hole. Ah, someone help! Val, you won't believe what happened this time. The rabbites were all calm one moment, but as soon as I got close to them, their mood turned and they attacked me. I'm going back to the village to get myself patched up. I'll leave the rabbites to you.
I can't believe it. You have the soul guard. Lend me your power movement. Easy. Command me. Command me. That's the rest. Command me. The soul guard's resolve never sways.
Val, sorry I left you to fend off that pack of rabbites. Wouldn't be the first time I've done something like that. I guess you were able to take care of them. Man, I feel bad about this. I didn't think it through at all this time either. I honestly didn't expect a rabbite of all monsters to be so aggressive. That sure caught me off guard. Where did I go wrong? What can I do better next time? Anyways, thanks for saving my life again. Here is the least I can do in return. Bye now.
That was a great new experience.
Luck Serum. Well, pinch me! That shelled pincher crab you got there. Foolish. Would you like to try some? This is crab? It looks a lot less disgusting than I imagined. That's a good start. Do you think you'll be able to eat some? I guess I can try a little. That's what I like to hear, Foolish. Thanks for helping me out with my admittedly strange request. I think my son is finally on his way to getting over his fear of crabs.
That was a great new experience.
Hi again, sir. Did you manage to ask around? Interesting. So to summarize, the people you interviewed consider their tales to be an important part of who they are as people. See, Lily T, not everyone in the world is born with a fluffy tail, but they're still proud of them nonetheless. You're right. I'm sure there's something I can do to love my tail, like brushing it better, or whatnot. I'm going to go look for some silk tails. Wait, Lily T, it's dangerous to go alone. Please, could you follow Lily T and make sure she doesn't get hurt? It's dangerous to go alone. Here, take this.
Uh-huh.
Meet again. You have a habit of showing precisely when I need you. Would you be willing to listen to my woes again? I feel like you're the only person I can turn to. I told you how my father disappeared all of a sudden one day, didn't I? Well, sometime later I learned that he left in search of medicine for Mother. After I heard that, I found it hard to resent him for his actions. All the same, since the day he left, Mother's condition slowly deteriorated, and we were left to fend for ourselves. We struggled on as best we could, until one day Mr. Doratani started showing up. You remember him from Hillestana, don't you? He's an art dealer, you know. As it turns out, Mr. Doratani was selling Father's paintings, and would come to give us a share of the profits. Even though Father was gone, at least we had the funds to survive. Mr. Doratani didn't just bring lucre with him, sometimes he also brought paintings. Ones Father had painted for Mother. Those are the ones I always show you. The lucre was helpful and the paintings were nice, but why couldn't he come and hand them over himself? I was rather angry at him for that back then. But now that I'm older, I've come to understand his behavior, even though I don't agree with it. I think he must have been ashamed to show his face after what he did. Phew. Oh, it feels good to get all that out. Thanks for listening, as always. Say, since you're here, would you mind helping me find the scene from another picture? This is the one. It looks to me like Arvid's pasture. If you find it, just let me know as always. Thanks again, Traveler. Find the scenery 5. Found the scene from Darnie's painting. Time to let Fiona know. You can see the entirety of Arvid's pasture from here. And I think I also see Dura Gorge peeking out there. What a gorgeous view. Mother told me that in ancient times, armies once fought for control of these lands. Though it was once a bloody battlefield, time has transformed it into the beautiful place we see today, so full of life. I understand why Father did what he did, why he left us. But how can you expect a child to comprehend? To me, it just seemed like he'd abandoned us. I was devastated. I felt so alone. If I'm being honest, finding the locations for Father's paintings doesn't give me any desire to see him. I want his glimpses of his mind as he traveled around the world in search of medicine for Mother. That's all. Thank you, Traveler. I think it's time for my stay in Ilstana to come to an end. The next stop on my journey will be the free city of Sata. Should our paths cross there, can I count on your help again? Yep. You really are too kind for your own good. I think I'll stay here a bit longer and take in the scenery. Until next time, Traveler.
Helping out people in need can be so rewarding.
I'm sorry. Please don't get mad. I guess Silktails don't like their tails being touched. What am I gonna do now? Lily T, are you okay? Get to safety, understand? Okay, please, sir, be careful.
If they insist on instigating the battle, then let us honor their invitation. Do not drop weaknesses until the very end.
Got it!
Are you alright? You're not hurt, are you? You're super strong, sir. I've never seen anything like it. Sorry, everyone. I really messed up big time. Lily T, why did you suddenly run off like that? Didn't you think it might be dangerous? Well, since my tail isn't as bushy as yours, I figured you were embarrassed to be seen with me because my tail isn't very fluffy. Let me ask you this then, Lily T. If my tail wasn't the way it is, would you stop being my friend? What? Of course I wouldn't. You're always going to be my friend, no matter what kind of tail you have. Oh. The same goes for me, Lily T. Friendship isn't about whose tail looks like what. I'm your friend because I want to be your friend. Simple as that. I never thought about how your tail looked. And as your friend, it always hurts me to see you so insecure. Oh, Mike. Thank you. I feel a little better already. So, does this mean that we're still friends forever? Forever and ever and ever. Come on, Lily T. I think we should head back to Illistana soon. Yeah, let's go together. Thanks again for all your help. See you around.
That was a great new experience.
Myriad Wishes. So, when we come back next time, we will be doing the side quests here in the desert, and then continuing on to our story objective over in Guju. At any rate, that's going to be all for today, so thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.